face, stop being me break. Counterculture, it's in your face. It's fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you'll never see us again.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're live again, keeping the Halloween-ish themes going. So today we're talking about some monsters.
There are monsters in the gelatin.
That's right. Monsters. They're in the gelatin. They're everywhere. They're in your Marvel Legends. So we're keeping it going. Last week we talked about some of the creepiest, right? Just having fun. It doesn't necessarily apply to the actual figure itself or the character for that matter necessarily. But last week it was more of if they came alive, and in the vein of like Small Soldiers or Indian in the Cupboard or Toy Story or Puppet Master or the 9 other films that we mentioned last week. What that would be like. Today, I think we're going to keep it more like actually monster-ish. These characters are monsters in the sense of actually being monsters, right? So whether they're good or bad or indifferent in Marvel or DC lore or wherever the road takes us today, that's kind of where we're headed. So I think it's pretty good summary of what we've got going on. Of course, we'll do some introductions. I've got Nick with me as always, right? So
hello.
Any pickups this week, Nick? Anything that you got or you're waiting on?
Just a couple of the Strange Tales. I'm got most of the wave. Waiting for a few deals here and there, but yeah, I got Brother Voodoo and Damian Hellstrom back here. But I haven't opened them yet, but because I literally just got them like this evening. They're outside when I went to go get the mail. So
which ones are you gonna wait on from that wave?
So I also ordered, what is it, Titiana or whatever, because I had a gift card that covered most of that. That one should be here, I think, tomorrow. So yeah, the other ones are just Bloodstorm and what's the other one? I don't need another Moon Knight. I just want the Black Heart piece.
Yeah.
And then I think that's it. Am I missing anybody else? Because I already have Dracula. I have Dracula already.
Yeah. Did you get the Brother Voodoo too, or are you gonna wait on that one?
Yeah, he's right there as well.
Oh, yeah.
So just those two. So those were I told you, like, they were like I think $1 off on Amazon. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you text me that, and like I'm glad I pre-ordered that whole way from Amazon, because they actually, as they were about to ship, I kept getting like the notification like, hey, price change on your item. So yeah, they all dropped $1, which was cool. I'll take it for sure,
Yeah, definitely. That might have been like that. What is it? The pre-order price guarantee or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like it dropped at the last second. I don't know why, but I'm not complaining.
No, absolutely not. So I'm curious, like where they found the price match to drop. But either way, I don't care. I'm glad that Amazon does that. It's a
Ollie's. They already got to Ollie's somehow.
It just skipped everywhere else. God damn, what happened? All right.
Strange tale, man.
It is. Which, by the way, so people have started posting that they're showing up at Walmart. I could have swore that the Strange Tales wave was going to be fan channel only. I got to go and look back at that, but because of the theme of the wave, I felt like that definitely was the case. But if a wave like this is going to mass retail, then I see no excuse as to why we can't get some of the little bit more, risque characters or a little bit more sinister characters for the fan channel route. If they can put something like Strange Tales at mass retail, then I think all bets are off on what we could get fan channel. So
yeah, definitely. So I was at Walmart like 2 days ago, just my local one, and they didn't have anything. But it's sometimes it's hit or miss there. So yeah, I haven't seen anything. I've seen a few things on Reddit. It's like, oh, so I don't know. It's like, did someone just buy it and bring it in there, and they're trying to get like clicks? I don't know. But
probably, that's a good point. Probably somebody was just like, oh, let me just take my Strange Tales figures down to Walmart, post this picture, and people will be like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, not saying like, because I've seen like a couple different ones, but I don't know. That's fine. I guess they're just like lying to you now. Oh, it's fancy. No, just kidding. We're going to distribute it everywhere because
That's a good point too. I mean, they could be told one thing, and then when everything hits the shelves, it's a totally different story, right? I don't know. The figures are out, so I guess that's the important part. If you really love Walmart, then I suppose that's an option for you. I don't know who falls in that category, but they're there for you. Yeah, but
does anybody really love Walmart? I don't
no.
got a love-hate relationship. Like,
When I was growing up, I did because there was nothing to do in Delaware, and our Walmart was 24/7, right? So like at 2 o'clock in the morning, you just roll up to Walmart, and that's what growing up in Delaware was like in the late 90s and early 2000s. So
did it have like a Subway like inside of it, or like a sub place in it, or no? Just
no, I had
Walmart.
them once.
Oh, okay. There you go. It's a win.
Yeah, it's a win, something, right? Pickups were a little slow for me this week, but Robin finally came in, so now I've got that. I finished. I've got everybody, so now I got to open them up and put that Nightmare Bat together, and then I did order the Batmobile, the Batman Forever Batmobile. So that just shipped from Big Bad Toy Store today. So
nice. Yeah, that's
myself,
probably the like the original, the Keaton or Burton Batmobiles, like the classic look, but the Batman Forever one with like the lights and the wheels and like
it's
the
just
slick points, it's pretty awesome looking. That was like my favorite. Like that's my favorite of the three movies of the four movies. Sorry, growing up. So yeah, I love
it
that.
came out at a good time. I had a huge crush on Nicole Kidman as Dr. Meridian at the time, and my cousin and I, like, we used to go to every store that sold the Batman Forever trading cards and bought them, like trying to complete the entire set. I don't think we ever successfully did, and I honestly have no idea whatever happened to those cards. I turned some of them into Pogs because I had a Pog maker, so I know that was a thing. But the rest of the cards, I don't know. But yeah, so that was the quest to complete the Batman Forever trading cards. It came out at a good time is the point, right? So it was just a lot of hype for me around that movie. So I always enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And obviously, like Jim Carrey is like carrying all his success from the '90s into it. Tommy Lee Jones is Two-Face. Like a lot of people kind of crack on that, but I always like that version. He's just zany and he's kind of almost a sidekick to the Riddler, which is fine with me because it's Jim Carrey's show,
Exactly. I think that's part of the draw too. It's very much over the top, but not like in the Batman and Robin sense, right? It had enough of the zany, but not too much as to become just something you just throw away,
Yeah, like a campy caricature.
Yeah,
I know people said so. Batman and Robin, I love that in parts for its own reasons. I hated it when it came out, but also I don't know, just something about it. Just it's still there's some crappy CG, but also there's a ton of really cool practical stuff that they like tried to do. Good or bad. The rubber icicles on the side of the cars. When everything's frozen. I don't know. I don't mind it. It's so zany and over the top. But yeah, Batman Forever was like the transition from like serious gothic Burton to more still gothic, but definitely more like comic book and colorful.
Yeah.
Obviously Schumacher taking over is a big reason why. I can take or leave Val Kilmer as a Batman. He's kind of a little too stoic. But I like the look of the bat suit. You can take or leave him, and he's kind of a really stiff Bruce Wayne too. But everything else in the movie really works for me. And like you said, came out at that time, had probably 7 different toys from it. I know I had the one Batman that was like electric Batman or something.
That was a cool thing too, and just any Batman figures in general growing up there, because there was like 900 different Batmans that didn't exist in the movies, but like they peddled this to you as a child, and as a child consumer, you're like, yeah, I'm here for it. So
yeah, and so everyone's bitching about like, oh, Todd, stop doing Batman. It's like, guys, have you seen like the history? Like it's all Batman.
Yeah.
and some
Exactly.
villains.
Exactly. Speaking of Batman and the pickups, so Bartman, I finally went and picked up Bartman, so looks pretty
Nice.
cool. So I'm happy
Eyes are
to.
straight, looking good.
Yes, indeed. Damien's in. Damien, hey, welcome. Appreciate you dropping by.
So Kenny, I think I asked you this before, but
Yeah.
the eyes like are not adjustable, right? Like you can't like
No,
move them in the head.
no. So that that would have alleviated all of the problems, right?
Okay.
If
Yeah.
it was just a simple rotation, right? No, they are put in place, and that is why it was just so like it was just so bad with some of those, man. Like the one
Oh,
eye is
yeah, I
just
saw
going
the
over
ones with
here,
you. I was like, oh goodness.
So yeah,
Shannon
just
Doherty, your eyes trying to escape.
exactly. Like, what are you looking at over there? What's going on?
It's like, hey, eyes here. Look over.
Head and eye straight, boy. I'm up here.
Eyes up here.
So, yeah.
So I haven't been to the Target in a minute, but like slim pickings on the Simpsons there. I think the only one I saw was
Yeah.
I don't even know who it was, a character I didn't even recognize. But it's like, okay. So I don't know if those are gonna become like people like chasing them and looking for them. I mean, for was it $12.99? That's a pretty good
Yeah.
figure for that price. So
Not bad, but I think that's why they're flying off the shelves. I mean, every time, even the bad-eyed versions never stayed on the shelves long. Like I would go, I would see it, Homer or Bart would be there. Occasionally you'd see Otto or Willie. And then the next day or two when I would go back, all gone, Even the like 2.5-inch versions, the only thing that seems to like stick around is the living room sort of Dio set for the 2.5-inch figures. That I still see every time I go, but the figures themselves, I think it's been very popular. The Simpsons obviously is a popular show. It's been around 36 seasons, so people love The Simpsons, and I think it's good for a line like Jack's Pacific to pick it up because then it's going to be readily available and at a better price point than someone like Super 7. So,
yeah, they're really picking up the slack where Super 7 kind of, they flub that license a little bit. And it's people just aren't, I don't know. They're like 54, 55 bucks. It's like, you just can't drop that much. Whereas this is way more reasonable.
right.
And
if you collected like the Playmates versions from back in the day, they are the same scale, like the 4-inch ones, at least, so they mix
right
in. If you had any holes there and you don't want to start over, I think you'll be all right with that. But
yeah, definitely.
So that's a lot of stuff that's not about the subject today, but good stuff. There's good stuff coming out, right? So it's all about collecting action figures.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're going to talk about some monsters. That's right. We've got monsters on the topic today.
There are monsters in the gelatin.
I'm just going to play that every time. No, I'm just. All right. So I took some pictures from the collection to go through these instead of just taking the stock images, change it up a little bit,
Vendigo.
That I actually own these action figures, right? So
yeah, I always like the head sculpt on this one. It's very, terrifying. If you saw that like in the woods, so like the classic Wendigo, from the Stephen King story or the folklore. Yeah. I always think of the Stephen King thing as like this like terrifying creature of the woods that's like stalking you. That thing's terrifying, man. Like especially. You're in like the snow, it'd be like you couldn't even see it because it's like blending right in with
very much so, right?
Snowman almost, right?
And like this one is based on like the lore as well. I'm not familiar with the Stephen King, but
just from Pet Sematary, there's like a Wendigo in the novel only, not in the movie at all. It's one of the things that separates the novel from the because the movie is fantastic as well. Both Pet Sematary book, Pet Sematary movie, watch them both. Remake.
Does the one in the book have anything to do with cannibalism?
Yeah. So that's the part of it is.
It's probably it's just all based on the like native lore, right, of the Wendigo itself. So a
Exactly.
curse dealing with cannibalism, etc. So then
Yeah,
you
because
become
then
this
like
creepy monster that, yes, hide in the snow for sure, right? So the Canadians, I think, are more affected by this than most, but
yeah. But yeah, so like yeah, definitely a terrifying figure for sure. I don't want to see that popping up.
I don't want to see that pop up. See what? Oh, hey, Robert, welcome in, welcome in. Wendigo Bath is a great build a figure too. Um, and for all intents and purposes, I guess I could have added Sasquatch to this list as well. But as far as
All the cryptids.
yeah, Bath looks great. Sorry, Damien had a. Can I ask? I'm an '80s kid through and through. Are there any popular shows you both didn't watch but like nowadays? Mine was Transformers, to be honest. I loved GoBots better. So
I'll go with Inhumanoids. So that was one where like I didn't really watch it as a kid. I don't know for whatever reason, but found out about it later. I think because of Angry Video Game Nerd did like an episode on it or something that they mentioned it. Yeah, I went back and ended up finding all the episodes on YouTube, and I was like, man, this show is awesome. Like, yeah, it's a pretty rad show. And then obviously now you look at the figures; they're like these gigantic monstrous figures. It was very cool. So that would be my pick for a show that I never watched or missed or whatever. But Transformers is a great pick as well.
For me, so all right, like the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, I never watched that as a kid. So Carolina obviously is from Brazil, right? Apparently, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon was huge in Brazil, at least in her state. I don't know why. So she has this very like nostalgic tie to that Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. So I've watched it, as an adult. I never saw it as a kid. I didn't even know it existed until a couple of years ago, right? Obviously, Hasbro put out the toys. I'm familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, the game, and the more modern movies and takes on it and things, but that like 80s cartoon, no idea, no idea. So I guess for me, it's that, but it's also like a very incomplete thing, right? Because it got canned. So I don't know.
And dude, you think that would be something that would, because like this is coming from, you remember Super Mario Brothers Super Show, like that
Oh,
dumb
yeah,
stuff.
that's
Like
yeah.
you think it would have aired alongside that or like around that because it's like kind of a similar, or at least because it's like kind of similar to Zelda, or Zelda is similar to Dungeons and Dragons, if you will. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just again, I'm just like, did I not see like a rebroadcast of it on something somewhere, and like I'm like, wait, there was a cartoon of this? What? Like, yeah, mind
Yeah.
blown. Same. And then, like you said, like, and then you told me like it was huge in Brazil. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess it wasn't made for us, even though it was clearly like an American animated show.
That's right. That's
I
right.
think.
I don't know. It missed the mark. It at least found an audience, so I guess that's good. I don't know why Hasbro decided to make a toy line out of it that wasn't very successful, but yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
Godzilla, Smurfs, yeah, that was classic. Amazing Spider-Man and Friends. Oh, speaking of Smurfs, cartoon I liked as a kid was what, Snorks? Is that like the
The
under?
underwater version, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. The little yeah, those were great. The snorks.
Snorks. Oh, inquisitive minds stumbled upon the show. Oh, hey, welcome in. Thanks for stumbling through the door and leaving a comment, sticking
Yeah.
around. We are going to be on topic. I promise. We did start, but as things go, we will go off on tangents. So Wendigo was first up on the list. Next, let's see what I got. Oh, Maggot. Yeah. So, like I said, it's not like all bad guys and things. It's just some cool monsters, right? So, Maggot, right? The dude has slugs for a stomach, right? It's a whole slug situation, and then like they'll come out, they'll eat, and then re-enter him and give him power. That's a very like watered down version of everything. But what like slugs, yeah, it's a whole thing. So
I love it, man. I got one from all time recently loose for like $5 just for the slugs because they're too cool because they're separate pieces and you could throw him in any monster display or throw him around someone's neck. It's awesome. Great figure. Also looks like Yondu's like jacked up, like
he hit the gym a
nephew.
little bit. Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, like because he's got the mohawks, it's not the big giant wave, but I'm just saying, could be his long lost cousin.
Could be. He started hanging out with Arnold. Decided to hit the weights.
There you go. Good neighbor.
That's right. All right. The next thing on the list, though, we're fresh. We've got this Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, there we go.
Very cool, very nice Build-A-Figure. If you haven't seen what it looks like, I did do a comparison video on the channel. It's a little shameless plug. Here's a still from that very comparison. So the figure, we'll get into Blackheart, but the figure itself, I got to say, man, like I thought the Toy Biz one held up pretty well. And I wasn't sure like how much better the Build-A-Figure would be, but it is obviously. I mean, you've got some updates, right? The ball hips and everything. But other than that, like this Build-A-Figure is just a very fine figure, man. I don't know. They did
looks
really
great.
well. Yeah.
I like the texturing on it. It looked very similar to the original. So the one thing I did not watch the video yet, the comparison video, the tail. Like, is the tail like really good? Like
I would say it's actually pretty. It's a little bit better than the Toy Biz one. I mean, is
that wire? It's like bendable.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It just like you really have to mold it into the position you want because it will just retract back.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's got the bendy wire in there, so you do have some like good options with it. Like I said, though, you really got to work it, though.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's good stuff. Terrifying. The lack of mouth is always unsettling. I do like the zany look of the Toy Biz one though, like with because he's got the looks like mutton chops, devilish mutton chops, if you will. Whereas the other one's more of like a smoother, like Bon Jovi look. I like it a lot. But I don't even have I've only got the Dracula with arm, I think, open, or the leg. So that's all. That's my only frame of reference for it personally.
Well, it's a good start. Damien makes a good point. Blackheart is fab, but if we get Hasbro on board with Zarathos, that could be top-notch demon to do justice. Absolutely. And like I said, if in the US, like if this Strange Tales wave is hitting retail places like Walmart, then I don't see any issue for them doing other demon characters. Obviously, I don't think everything's going to hit mass retail, but it opens the fan channel route should not have limits, right? They know who the audience is for these figures. Limit it to just like Hasbro Pulse and then do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But Blackheart himself, all right. So we're talking, I mean, actual demon here, right? Son of Mephisto. He's got brainwashing abilities. He attempts to steal souls, right? So I would say he's very monstrous in that regard, right? So,
oh yeah.
Let's turn it over to Groot, aka the Seed of Slaughter. All right, that's one of his nicknames, right? This is like in the original, because he's originally intended, I think more in a villainous kind of way, an alien species. He was going to capture humans and conduct experiments. I love that this nickname is the Seed of Slaughter. Like if Groot was a wrestler, that's how he would get announced in the ring. Like, in this corner, weighing in at 350 pounds, we've got the Seed of Slaughter, the tree. I don't know. He's got some other nicknames, but you get it. You get where I'm going with this, right?
Oh yeah, you got what's his name? Michael Robinson or whatever. The announcer guy. Yeah. The tree that will be the Seed of Slaughter.
Groot.
And he says, "I'm Groot."
I like it.
So this is a terrifying picture. I will say though, it looks like Star-Lord's laughing. It also looks like he has like a beard. Just in this specific shot, he's just like
something funny probably happened.
It's like, and then Groot's like, "Dude, I'm about to bitch slap your ass." That's not funny.
But then you think of like the shape shifting ability too. Something for me, like any shapeshifter automatically is like going to be in some sort of monster type category, right? The ability to change your mass and shift into
Form.
different things, forms, whatever.
It's terrifying, man.
Right.
I really wish they would re-release that, just the head of that brute. It's just very unsettling. It's like almost, it kind of reminds me of Pumpkinhead, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
know, like that, like literal, like evil, like revenge demon.
It wouldn't be bad if they just released the head again, because then you could just pop it on like the MCU version, right?
Yeah, because
And
most of them seem to be a very similar shade of, it's a tree, right? So like,
yeah,
I don't know what type of tree. Is he an oak? I don't know, a birch, whatever, you know, but the color scheme
nice
is very good.
mahogany.
So yeah.
Speaking of natural elements, I suppose. So Flint Marco, Sandman himself, another shapeshifter, keeping it in theme here, right? The fact that this dude could just like turn into a sandstorm and just wreck your day, that's a pretty solid monster type power, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. You can morph his arms and all those, like it's like the T-1000 basically. Like morph
Yeah,
it into a blade, a hammer, whatever, knives and stabbing weapons, as Arnold would say. Also, you can just turn into sand and get into any space. Almost like water, like Hydro Man. Like get it, like you seep into like a keyhole
yeah,
or under a door or something like that. And then his whole mass and size is based on how much he can absorb, right? From like the sand and the dirt and everything. So theoretically, if you get a big enough, if he's on like a beach, he could theoretically be,
that
gigantic.
be
So yeah,
terrifying.
great one, great figure, underrated. I know the ball hips on that one, but always like
Yeah.
that's the raft one, right? Yeah, I like
Well, of
that one.
course, you picked it up for me, so I had to feature this one instead of the Build a Figure.
The only thing missing from that is like the punched face where it's like missing the chunk. Like
Yeah,
that's the only
that's yeah.
only yeah. But good stuff.
All right. What about the Void? Huh?
Ooh, good, yeah. Terrifying. A giant tentacle jelly man.
Shapeshifter. I think I went on a shapeshifter rant here. I don't know.
I guess, dude. I guess I put the Inception you with the talking
You
about the
did.
thing, right? All these shape shifting
You did. You
monstrosities.
did. It's exactly
Dude, it's
like I said.
terrifying, right? It can take on
Yeah,
any form that would literally, whatever terrifies you might be different from what terrifies me, and it can basically make that terrifying to think about.
and then not only that, I mean, you're talking about like mind manipulation too. So
You see,
it's a pretty solid combo there for if you're looking for a good
straight terror.
monster. Yeah,
Yep. So you get the physical horrificness, but then you get the H.P. Lovecraft, what cosmic your brain can't comprehend. So you go mad, or you get like psychically banged by a psychic demon.
psychic
Sounds
demon.
lovely.
Yeah. It's just a regular Saturday.
The Void's like, yeah, man, that's my Tuesday.
So I don't work on weekends. Excuse me. So and like a really nice build a figure too. And this is like we kicked off the year with this build a figure, right? So kind of set us up for what and it has been a good year for Marvel Legends. A lot of nice releases, not a lot of baffs though. We're kind of on the lower end, but I do think at least the build a figures that they've put out have all been good, right? Like there hasn't been a baff wave where you're like, oh, this is just trash, right?
Filler, yeah. Mr. Hyde wave where I really want the bath, but the half the wave is just trash.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm with you. For as much as we were talking amongst ourselves, just like constantly complaining about like why is Hasbro making these dumb choices and they haven't completely corrected course. There's still some like but I will agree. I think it was almost like a 180 for them in terms of, all right, look, man, you got to put out characters that people want, get some quality. Price could Pricing has been interesting. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying, like Angel's like 35, but then like Jean Grey's 50, and it's like almost some, I don't know,
So I
whatever.
think there was an issue with the Jean Grey because a lot of places price corrected back down to 35.
Oh,
So
okay.
like
Well,
if you
uh,
like if you went to Target and got her, she's been ringing up at 35. I think Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth had listed her at 35, but when they saw like places like Amazon list her at 49.99, they adjusted after like the first set of orders.
marked
And
it
now
up.
I believe everything is dropped back down to 34.99. So I don't, but I'm with you. Like, yeah, Angel, a
That's
very
just
nice
one
release.
example. Just more like some of the pricing has been like, okay, guys, like you're reaching a little bit, like especially when you're trying to like re-endear your customers to you, like
Yeah.
maybe not over the Cabal pack, that like that 3-pack was like, it was like 75. It's like
Yeah.
25 a figure. It should have been like 65. I don't know.
Yeah.
The idea
Or
is you
Hulkbuster.
buy a
Hulkbuster is a good
multi-pack,
example. I
you
think
want
that
to
was
get a
overpriced.
little bit of a discount, whereas
Yeah.
that 3-pack, it's so hey, just buy 3 figures. Okay, cool. I don't know.
No, I'm
That's
with you
my only
because like,
complaint is the pricing, I guess. The
yeah.
output itself has been excellent. Yeah, thus far, no complaints there. More strange tales. That's all. That's what I
More
want.
strange tales. But yeah, I'm with you on the multi packs because I don't know. I don't know about you, but like I always remember growing up, like if you buy a multi pack, the discount was like carried over to the consumer, right? That was kind of the benefit of buying the multi pack.
Maybe like $5 at
Yeah,
least. Come on.
it's not like a huge dip, but yeah, exactly. You know, it's just perception of value basically. But
Exactly. Make me feel like I got some kind of a deal. Buying a pack of figures. The Cabal pack is what all other than I think Iron Patriot, like all the other. There have been versions of those characters. I know people want Doctor Doom a lot, but again, to kind of lock him behind a 3-pack, it's like,
yeah,
man, I just want a Doctor Doom. Especially with I'm sure we're gonna get more Doctor Dooms with Secret Wars and the new Fantastic Four. So I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm complaining just to complain, but
stop complaining.
yeah.
Nah, but it's warranted complaints, I think.
It's easier to complain than heap praise too. It's easier to complain
That's
about
true.
something.
That's true. And people listen to complaints more than praise. So
Until we got onto the pricing thing, we've been praising all these. So yeah, I'm just
that's right. We keep it balanced. All right.
yeah.
That's right.
Let's take it back. Yeah, great bath.
Everything's beautiful.
Also, some of the most pieces of a Build-A-Figure since Dormammu. I think it was like 7 pieces plus, right? Like all the tentacles and stuff. Yeah. So
1, 2, 3, 4.
it was just 6.
Well, 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 tentacles, head, torso. Yeah, that's a good amount of pieces.
Yeah, I don't know. Just that makes it feel like a bang for your buck, as opposed to some Build-A-Figures where it's just like, okay. That one really made it feel worth it, even for figures that I might not necessarily want. Yeah,
It's kind of, this is like what you want out of a Build-A-Figure, right? Like just a big, cool figure.
Something that stands out. It's a Build-A-Figure for a reason. You want to build it up. It's should theoretically be a centerpiece to, or at least like one of the main villainous threats to whoever, right? Yeah,
that's right.
Where do you have him? It looks like you have him in the
yeah. So I've got him
the cosmic display, I guess.
No, he's in between the Dark Avengers and the Cabal. So,
okay.
Kind of not like almost the centerpiece of the shelf, but not really, because in front of the Cabal I have the Illuminati. So he's kind of like these two because I have the Sentry transitioning into the Void. So yeah, I mean, if I move it a little bit, it could be the centerpiece of the display. Ooh, all right. Damien said, have you got any Strange Tales characters in mind you're hoping to see? Also, have you got the comics there to show the possibilities? So I will tell you, my like current day comic collection is probably only about 50 books. I've gotten rid of a lot, so I don't have any Strange Tales books. But I think, like, for me, Baron Mordo seems like the most obvious choice to go into this wave.
In the classic green, like that. Yeah.
Character that's long overdue. So I like, for me, that's like my number one priority.
Yeah, I don't really have any to pick, like, because we've gotten, a couple of Dormammu's at this point. So I guess just, I don't know. You just give me more terrifying things. Let's see if I'm gonna do a little Google here.
While you do that, I'm gonna move to Abomination.
Umar.
Harold and Kumar. What?
No, Umar is Clea's mother and Dormammu's younger twin sister, who was briefly the queen of the Dark Dimension.
There you go.
It's not a great looking one, but yeah, give me that Baron Mordo, please.
It's not great looking, but I'll take it.
It's like I don't know, it's like an old man in a very lime green outfit.
That's
Love my green, but yeah, give me that Baron Mordo instead. Anyway,
right.
Oh, hey, look at that big mofo right there. Yeah.
Dr. Druid. I don't know, that's a good question. I mean, this is like, we're going really far back with Strange Tales. So I would say not something that I'm super, super familiar with, but Dr. Druid, I mean, he certainly could be. He's cool. He's a cool looking character, nice bald dude.
Speaking of bald, the leader right there. No,
he's receding. It's still there a little bit.
So that is the Diamond Select.
Yeah. So there's a little trickery here. So this is Diamond Select, not Marvel.
No judgment. That is still the best Abomination.
It's a brick. You could
MFR is going to rip your freaking head off,
knock someone out with it.
Be happy about it, man. Look at that giant. Look, Absorbing Man for scale. It's like as big, like almost as big as his arm.
Yeah.
That's how you do. So that's like a McFarlane mega fig, if you will. But yeah, I love that Abomination. That is a great one. Also, yeah, just a terrifying character as well. Like, so he can go toe to toe with Hulk. He has like the tendrils on the arms, or not the tendrils, the bone fragments that can pierce Hulk's like flesh. So yeah,
he can breathe underwater.
Yes.
So not only a land creature, but a sea creature as well, right?
Mm-hmm. So right, like, I want to see him versus Aquaman.
I give Abomination the I don't know, Aquaman's pretty good. So
Aquaman with help would maybe be like, him. But what about them, like crab people from the movie? They'd be like, they'd be like, oh, and then he just eats them like crabs. I'm so full. Thanks, Aquaman. See ya.
Steams them up. Little old bay on there.
Later, Aquaman. I'll be back for some more seafood.
All right. And then on the flip side, we've got the Hulk. So the Hulk is very much like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type thing, right? So classic monster situation. Another select though. So I did stray a little bit.
So dude, I'm saying, man,
like versus Merman.
Oh,
dude from SpongeBob.
No, that's what's his name? Barnacle Boy and
yeah.
I can't think of this Barnacle Boy and
Merman.
Yeah. Was he saying Merman from who's Merman?
That's what I'm saying. Is the other dude, right? I don't know. Anyway,
is it the thing from Cabin in the Woods?
No,
that thing's a freaking nightmare.
I don't think so. But yes, that thing is a nightmare.
Good
Uh,
select figure as well. See, that's what I'm saying, man.
the
Some of select
beautiful
figures
action figure. Yeah.
go really well with the legends. Like I know we talked about the Hulkbuster and in your recent review of it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Motu. That's right.
ah,
Who's the dude from SpongeBob? That's now I gotta look that up. Yeah, Motu. That makes a lot more sense, Damien. I don't know where I'm going, but yeah. So select figure. Yeah, some of the select figures do fit very well, and this is certainly one of them. Such a
yep,
nice figure. And the
100%.
green on this figure, the paint on this figure is just so good.
So it's just Mermaid Man
Oh,
and Barnacle
Mermaid
Boy.
Man. That's right.
Mermaid Man.
See,
Yeah.
I was in the right.
I was gonna Google it, but then it just came to me. I was like, no, that's it. It's Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and
I was
I
in the
just remember
neighborhood.
him being very senile. So he's just like,
Yeah.
let's go,
Yeah.
because he's so old.
Yeah.
So that is such a great show, great character. Yeah. But anyway, back to Hulk here. Yeah, that look at them chompers, man. The radiation doesn't mess up his teeth, that's for sure.
That's right. He goes for regular checkups, flosses.
Well, I
Does it
assume
all.
his teeth, like when he gets really angry, his teeth
Do you
like
think the teeth get
with
bigger?
his body. Yeah, man. If his pants get bigger, his teeth have to get bigger.
Yeah, you definitely have some TMJ issues there. You know, there's that
I
jaw
think so.
issues. All right, so Sabretooth, right? So figure wise, a beautiful Marvel Legends figure. So glad that we got this update this year.
Dude, yeah, they delivered it, and in the 2-pack, yeah, 100%. It's a great one, because I still going back to the select line we're talking about, the Diamond Select Sabretooth is still looks really good, but then we finally got this one, which scales a little better and just looks fantastic, and I like the face sculpt.
Better articulation too.
Oh yeah. I wish there was like, maybe, I guess you could just customize it, but like some bloody variants, like maybe like some, like the hands where it had like some blood on them, maybe in like the fangs. That would be cool, just because it was in a 2-pack. So like, why not go all out with, like, if Hasbro loves their hands, you guys don't give me hands, might as well give me like some bloody hands.
That would have been awesome, but they seem to be like blood averse. I don't know, you know.
It's so weird, right? They're fully willing to give all their characters guns, but you know, the McFarlane's like, nah, here's a bloody version of this.
Yeah, no guns.
But no guns. No guns. It's like, Jesus, it's like he really took that Batman thing to heart, man. No guns.
He did. He's like, I
know it's not his choice, but
I like I like that we can just, you know, plausible deniability, right? We'll just say he's going the way of Batman. That's what it is, right? But yeah, so Sabretooth, great character, great adversary to our man Wolverine.
Oh hell yeah.
He's got healing factor, he's got it, super strength, he's feral. Look at him.
He's vicious. Yeah, I mean, basically, like you say, he's feral. He's basically just gonna tear you apart. He's like a giant feral, bear?
A Sabretooth.
A tiger, Sabretooth
Is
tiger.
in the cat family somewhere. Yeah.
They do roar like cats. Oh yeah, there he is. Oh, I love that shine, Mr. Sinister.
I feel like this is not a figure that's not talked about enough, you know.
So I will talk about this one, and I will also talk about the animated one that is a lot cheaper than this one, and it still looks just as fucking good. It's just as freaking good.
No. This is an adult channel. You're fine.
Sorry, I have a baby. I'm really trying to curb it. You know,
your baby's asleep. Okay.
But yeah, man, it's just love it. Biggest complaint: he should have come with some kind of like vial or some kind of test tube thing he could hold.
Yeah. Well, they have. Well, I guess they didn't make those till after this figure, but right.
Still, like something. Give me one of those, the little, those little whoosh whoosh effects that go on the wrists. That's all I want. Give me something to show, because and even the animated one, the image on the box is him going like this with like a green helix thing in his hand, like something. And I'm like, you guys couldn't have just like put that in like a little thing just for him to hold? I mean, look, his hand's right there. It's right there. He's like, give me something to hold, man.
No.
It's like, no, I'm just gonna grab your boob or something. No, I want something to hold.
So in horror, this is like your mad scientist, right? So
the maddest. Look at that face.
To me, that's why he's good for the monster list. You know, he's conducting these wild experiments, doing bad shit.
Oh yeah, sinister shit, one might say.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so fun fact here from Damien. If you didn't know this, Mr. Sinister happens to be Bryan Cranston's favorite comic villain. He said clearly, if ever, he would want to play Mr. Sinister. Is that what he's saying? Yeah, he said clearly, if ever he jumps on that character. I'm here
we've seen him as Heisenberg and Walter White, right? So he might be a little short, so give him some lifts. But yeah, other than that, I'm down.
Well, to be fair, Hugh Jackman's too tall to be Wolverine, so I don't think the rules apply. So
he says, like, when you first see the little short Wolverine, he's like, "Oh, look at this little hairy Lou Retton."
That was so good. That was so good. All right, Caliban.
You can build a figure you can ever buy, right there.
This is a good, and like people don't. Yeah, you can get this one for a pretty decent price, right? Except for the head, because that was the piece that came with Beast, right? But this is a great Build-A-Figure, and you're talking about, I mean, Caliban. In on my shelf, he's with the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, but that alone is qualification enough for this list. But also, he's able to like manipulate people's fear. What a like mind fuck of power set, like taking people's sense of fear and like multiplying it. That's why. That's just some wild.
Taking your worst fear and basically intensifying it to where it cripples you. Terrifying. Almost like an Uber Freddy, if you will, right? Like he's in your dreams. He's gonna be like, "Oh, there's your nightmares."
I just pictured a Freddy Krueger driving an Uber, but yeah.
But also like a nice. I've seen a lot of people do customs with that body because it's so cheap to get the whole. You can just get the whole. I think you can get the whole figure. Like you said, the head's a little expensive, but I think like between 30 and 40. I've seen it like comic shops and stuff. So I mean, for a bath, that's really good.
Not bad.
So, I can't remember. I think somebody did like a Bane custom using that body because it's still like jacked up. And I thought it looked really good. Underrated bath and slightly terrifying for the nightmare ability.
What about this guy? Ugh. Mojo, a spineless blob. He's got these spider-like mechanic thing. Almost like your favorite movie, Wild Wild West, right?
Hey, there you go. Dr. Arliss Lovelace. Yeah, no one wants to love this fat tub of psychopathic lard.
And like the fact that
I don't know, man. Ugh.
He's just not a pretty looking dude, right? He's a pretty ugly motherfucker.
It's like Freddy with the tongue, man.
Yeah. So and uses magic and he's got this anti-life field, right? So can suck the life from things. That's for a spineless blob. That's a pretty solid power set there.
Looks like he's been eating a lot of life.
Oh yes, he's not starving.
Dude, I will say the sculpt, like just the fat and the like the man boobs or the mo boobs, whatever you want to call them, really well done on this figure. I think you took this from your collection, but you can really see just like the little fat flops. Ugh, it's great. Disgusting.
Yeah, they did. I think the only like downfall for the figure itself is the fact that they released 2 in 1 year. So you got like the standard release, which was that pale yellow, and then you got the deluxe release. that was a very questionable decision. I don't know what that was about, but
So
I think that's the only thing that really killed the figure.
Here's what I think happened. So I think there was some random dude in Hasbro's like boardroom. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do this like 4-pack, and then the the CEO came in and was like, "No, you idiot!" And he slapped him. And he's like, "We got to do a single mojo."
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then he walks out, and that's it. And so that's why we got that one. And then the other one still came out, and
the rest is history, as they say.
But we did get the weird MODOK, right? We got the Elvis.
But to be fair, I mean
wasn't that like a Hasbro thing? But that was also announced second, so I guess it is kind of different. And but also like a weird iteration of a character. And you're like, why do two?
Absolutely. This was the weird thing about this deluxe set was that it came with a long shot, which also got a solo release.
Yeah, and just then, that Dazzler's the very blue Dazzler.
Yeah. So if you want to like put together your Outback X-Men, you just need it for that Dazzler because you could get long shot separately. So yeah, it's a lot of questionable decisions in this, but still,
I think it would have made sense because it came with that little Chibi Wolverine or whatever, the little tiny little guy.
Yeah.
If that not necessarily be Wolverine, but give me some random ass character from Mojo World, right? Like like that thing like that we haven't gotten before, and that's what should be the selling point of the box set.
Just like a whole Mojoverse set instead of
I'm like, look, if you're really gonna at that point, Hasbro, I'm not putting it past you, and I totally understand why you did it because you guys sucked and didn't really understand fan demand at that point. But like, okay, give me the Dazzler, give me the long shot, give me the Mojo, but then I don't know who it would be because I don't know a lot about the Mojoverse, Mojo World. But give me that character that I don't know, somebody that is exclusive that would make it worth it for somebody, a fan of Marvel Legends, to go actually buy that, and then say, okay, that actually makes it worth it. But outside of the Dazzler, like no one's gonna buy it for that Dazzler. Sorry, especially when there's already a Dazzler that is very close to that one, and you could easily like just paint it a little bit bluer.
Yeah,
I know people may want it, but yeah.
And people probably would have been more likely to purchase this pack if you didn't get those solo releases of Mojo and Longshot. Because Longshot was think about it. We were waiting for Longshot, an update on Longshot for a long time because we had that old Toy Biz one, which fell apart, over time and just didn't look good anymore.
Was a long shot.
Yeah. So doubling up was an interesting choice to say the least. All right. Ultimate Green Goblin. All right. So check this out, right? When I was doing some digging on this, do you know that initially his design, like when drawing him, he was meant to look like Brian Dennehy?
Someone say my name?
Who are you?
I'm Brian Dennehy.
What? No, not fucking Brian Dennehy.
That's right.
Fuck out.
It makes sense, right? Like the face, if you look at it, next time you look at this thing up close, just picture Brian Dennehy, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can see it.
It's a spitting image.
Spitting image. This is what I remember him.
Wow,
Brian Dennehy.
So what is that? That's serious, like a reputable source. Like what?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I swear to you, this is legit information.
Okay. All right. Well, Hasbro, who's making these decisions?
No, not Hasbro. This is in the comics. Like the artists when creating the character.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no, not Hasbro wasn't like, oh, we're gonna make this figure and we're gonna sculpt Brian Dennehy. They may have.
That's where I was like,
but,
what?
Yeah, no. In the comics, like the initial design of the character, in drawing him was inspired by Brian Dennehy. So it's super random. I don't know. That doesn't really tie into the monster thing. I don't know. Brian Dennehy, I'm sure he's a fine guy, but whatever. But
he's an asshole.
He's an asshole. No, just kidding.
Just kidding. Love you, Brian Dennehy, I think you're still alive.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
hope you're
I
still alive.
didn't look that far into this. I don't know. So Ultimate Green Goblin, he's probably immortal, right? We don't know. So that's something. And plus, he just is a big demon looking thing, right? Kind of, if you paint him red, tying back to the
Yeah.
South Park clip that I just had, right? He would almost look like the Satan from South Park.
Like, hey,
There you
Satan.
go. Hey, Satan.
Hey, Brian.
So there, you got that going for you.
Nice.
All right. What about a we
Morbin
haven't had any
time,
vampires
yeah.
in here, right? You know, we got Morbin time. He's a living vampire, feeds on human blood. I mean, I think that vampires pretty much speak for themselves. So I don't know how much more you need from there.
Yep, you're good there. Just watch out for
Of the
Blade.
figures, though, which Morbius is your favorite Legends figure? I go back and forth between. I really like this animated series one because that's kind of like the Morbius I grew up with, right? So a little bit more nostalgia
like
there.
he's too, for me, he's a little too blue. Like, should be
Yeah.
more red to be a vampire. But I agree. That's like the animated. So yeah, it's just it's honestly, like, I hate the articulation, but like the was it the Absorbing Man one? I think was the Absorbing Man. No, just that simple one is good.
The regular one, the one that had a re-release in the 2-pack with
Yes.
the.
However, the one that doesn't get talked about a lot is the Venom Pool one.
Yeah, I don't
is
like that one that much.
dude. That one
That's like
looks
a more modern look, right?
it's like so in terms of like being like a comic Morbius, I'm good, but it looks like this like coked out vampire that's like gonna like
That's
rip
true.
your head off for blood. Like,
He
it
looks
actually
like he's wearing a leather suit from Hellraiser, and he's coked out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like, and it's almost insect like the eyes is like bug eyed, and just it's a weird figure. It's just an unsettling figure. Yeah, so I guess I'll go that one for now.
Yeah, so yeah. Okay, interesting choice. I'm between this one and the original release of Morbius, but I definitely lean towards this one. Again, just
I have not seen this one in hand or anything, so maybe I'll check. I like the jacket, and so would Blade. Like, that's
there you go.
Jacket.
Yeah, I know you like this one though.
Yeah, literally a velociraptor in a lab coat. It's gonna rip your head off and eat it, and
the definition of a monster.
Yes, yeah. One
Such
of the
a good figure.
Figures, one of the most expensive, and still worth it to this day, in my opinion.
I agree. A lot of, I mean, there's I got to look at that Mezco one. Probably insane, and like they do make great quality figures, but you're definitely paying for it. But yeah, this one. So I got this one much later because I just bought the figures loose, right? And then they put out the retro carded lizard, which is a little bit more classic and fits in my main display much better. But I'm with you. I didn't know if I was gonna like actually get this figure, but once I got my hands on it, it is such Mezco Morbius. That makes more sense. Yeah, you're right. That Mezco Morbius is really nice. I don't think they have a lizard yet. But like this lizard, just a super nice looking figure. Monster wise, though, I mean, yeah, you have Dr. Connors turns into a lizard to help heal his arm and goes through that, and then it's like terrorizing everybody. And I mean, the literal definition of a monster here, right? So,
like again, Jekyll and Hyde type, where like he's trying to do good, and then basically turns into this ferocious, horrific monster that just will rip you apart. I don't know, man. Something special about this one, like. So to me, it's the head. Like, it could have just been like, I don't, but the tongue and the head, it's almost Venom like with the tongue. And I love it for that. The head and the fact that it looks like a freaking Velociraptor just sells the shit out of it for me.
All right, this next one, I had to go back to this comment because it applies to this next one. So Damien said he'd much rather have a beer with Sabretooth than Sugarman, and I don't blame you.
Yeah, because Sugarman's going to want 4 beers because he's got 4 arms.
No, that's true. He will drink you under the table, but
yeah, and he's going to be like, "Oh, you're paying."
I mean, as far as a monster goes, you're talking about a thing with several arms. He's got razor sharp teeth, a tongue that can only rival Gene Simmons, but it will also pierce almost anything. Like he can stab people and things with this tongue. That's pretty gnarly, right? So
just like Gene Simmons.
Just like Gene Simmons. Cool figure too. And
oh yeah, great one. I think that might have been one of the first or second. No, that first was Molten Man. I think that might have been like the second Build-A-Figure I built because I remember the Jean Grey piece was always the head piece, like the whole thing. I think it was
because it
like,
took up most of the box. Yeah.
And I think it was like very cheap at the time, so I was like, well, I guess I'm building this figure. It's all it takes is just one.
So I don't have the Select Lizard. Nick, do you have? You have?
I do.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot as well. It's very tall, very ferocious, very little articulation though. If you're looking for like something to really pose, he mostly just kind of stands there because the lab coat is like basically sculpted onto most of his body, so you can't really. There's not a lot of movement. It looks great though, and it's very imposing. But that one is also not super cheap. So if you're gonna drop money on one, you should just put that money towards the Legends one. In my opinion, you won't regret it.
But back to Sugarman here. So yeah, it looks like he belongs in Ghostbusters. I like in real Ghostbusters, he kind of reminds me of the Boogeyman. You know, like a much shorter,
the big head
shrunken
Boogeyman
version and more arms, but kind of does have that vibe of the Boogeyman from real Ghostbusters, right?
100%. And I didn't really notice that until he said that. Good point.
All right. And then the last thing I put on the list for Legends was symbiotes, right? So I didn't select just one because who can you select out of this? You're talking about. All right. So if we're thinking like horror related, right? I'm going a little loose here, but like stick with me. Invasion of the Body Snatchers type deal, right? Because they're taking over your body and they're able to shapeshifters. I don't know what my thing is with shapeshifters, but there you go. They're able to really manipulate a lot of things, from the individual to what they do to their different power sets and things and mentalities, right? So ranging from psychotic to fairly well adjusted. I'll give Venom, Eddie Brock Venom, a fairly well adjusted, but
he's the most well adjusted.
Yeah.
The rest of them just want to tear you apart.
A lot of psychopaths.
Yeah, just cause chaos, and they want to make you scream.
There you go.
Yeah, can we get a re-release of Scream? Just because that one's, I haven't paid good money for it, but people need a nice Scream that's like $20 or $25
with some better feet. Yeah. She's got like just the shoe feet instead of like the claw.
It's not the high heels, not the
it's not the high heels. I'll give you that.
And anything's
better than that.
But yeah, she got like shoes, but then you look at what was that, Mania? And she's got like actual like animalistic.
She's got
like
no, Mania is the one that came with Space Knight Venom.
Oh no, who am I? Agony,
yeah,
Agony. There we go. Yeah, sorry, Agony, Mania.
Just pick a name that has something to do with something not nice, right? Agony, Mania, Scream.
Where's Constipation?
It's gonna be like the
brown one.
Yeah, it's gonna be basically a recreation of the shit monster from Dogma.
the Golgotha, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah. By the way, if you got a DVD of Dogma out there, it's worth a lot of money. So just note that.
Just saying. I guess they're doing a Blu-ray or 4K
Well, better
updated
sell it
re-release of
now.
Dogma. So yeah, sell it now. Sell it now.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Phage is awesome.
Phage.
Oh, they're awesome. Lasher's my favorite because he's green. But I think if I had to pick like a specific symbiote that's like the best representation, it would be the deluxe toxin, because
Yeah.
the face on that one and just like the tendrils, it literally looks insane, and like it's like it literally like murderous. The face is just terrifying. More so, I wish Riot's face was a little better. He just looks a little bit like, guys, I don't know.
I'm here.
I'm here and I'm blue.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like, and the paint too. It could have had a little bit better paint app, but
like maybe a little more metallic, like the original Space Venom that was like had that like metallic sheen. Like that would, I think, really sold it for me personally.
That, and then like the shape shifting arms, like you should have had a hammer, right?
Yeah, instead of just the scythe, right? Which we've already seen. Yeah, the hammer would have been great. Good point.
But yeah, so for Legends, that's the monster Legends we got. So out of these, who would you say is out of that list? Who's your favorite monster from Marvel Legends?
The whole list, probably. Oh man. So wait, just the character or the legend itself?
I guess either or. If you had a
got to be Lizard, man. The Lizard is just so. That's the most chill version I've ever. He's just like, all right, I'm chilling out before I tear your body in half with my claws.
That's right.
But yeah, got to go with that Lizard, I think. How about you?
It's a good question. I think I was between like maybe the Void and just for like sheer monster stuff, maybe Wendigo. I don't know.
I'm loving the Wendigo love here. This is great.
Because you're thinking like just with the attached lore, and it delves outside of Marvel, right? Like this is something that it's got like native lore to it. It's got Stephen King lore to it. It's Marvel, and they all kind of tie together. It's like this, it's Bigfoot, but like times 10, much scarier than the idea of like a Yeti or Bigfoot, right? So,
yep.
Yeah. So I'll go with Wendigo because I don't think Wendigo gets enough love.
I agree there. Yeah, so many more later figures get that love, but yeah, Wendigo is definitely an underrated. And I think, yeah, again, one of the probably like the first 5 BAF that I ended up completing, just because I think at the time like the figures were had just come out or were out, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get this going. And always the head sculpt is just fantastic. Just
a great primal scream situation type going on, right? So just
rip your
it really
out.
Gets the essence. Yeah. So yeah, but before we jumped on, we were talking about some possible others. So that was kind of a longer list for Marvel, so we really didn't need to delve into anything else. But we were talking about some DC things that make good monsters, right? So the Yellow Lantern Corps really has some good options, right? So you've got Low, you've got Mash, we've got Arkillo, right? So
yes. Yeah, Low in particular is just it's like a lamprey eel, and it's just disgusting because it has no eyes.
Yeah,
it's just gonna like suck your freaking soul out. I don't even know if that's what he does in the comic, but it's just disturbing, man.
To be honest, I don't either.
Come on.
Yeah,
you want to wake up and see that next to you?
It's a no from me, dog.
and then the mash just is like multiple heads, and I feel like because of the heads, like they're driving each other crazy, so he's like completely insane. It's just I don't know. Again,
there's
I
a
don't
wild
know the
situation.
origin of these like characters, but this is just I bought them because they looked cool and just I mean, come on, that's free.
Part of the that's part of the thing, right? When you were a kid, you didn't buy things like action figures because you knew it. You were just like, oh, that's cool. That's an action
That
figure.
looks
You know?
cool. I'm gonna buy
And that carries over into your adult life as well. You know,
Yeah.
at heart, we're all still children. So
Very true.
you know, sometimes you see a figure and you're like, yeah, that I don't know what you are, but I need that. It's like in Grandma's Boys, like I don't know what the fuck you are, but I'm eating you.
I'm gonna eat you.
Same sentiment.
Yeah, exactly. And then so yeah, I guess I'll pull up. So this guy's from what, the Eastman and Laird line. What, Belly Ball? What was his name?
Belly bomb.
Belly Bomb. Yeah, so he actually, his eye actually comes forward where he actually has an eye, but I think it looks better with the roll back. Honestly, it's terrifying, and he has eyeball hands.
Yeah, because it's not like an eye.
This did not
that's
come with the
devoid.
limbs. That's an addition from me, but this is literally the scene from The Thing where his belly opens and he's just like, wow, and it does move. The mouth does move a little up and down. It's a little jammed right now with intestines, but yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Yes. So big vote for this guy.
That's got to be one of the best figures that's come out this year, you know, just from a random figure perspective. Because, like, full disclosure, I never read any Ninja Turtles comics. Ninja Turtles to me was always the cartoons, the video games, right? So that's what I know of TMNT.
I think that's most of us, right? I mean, unless you really did like the
you
deep
were a little
dive
bit
and
older,
got into that after the fact. Yeah, like there's so much in there, and I like that NECA is going so deep into it. Like, because I'm like, who's this? Who is that? So like a good chunk of it, I'm like, okay, I'm good. But then something like this comes along, and I'm like, yes, I am getting this.
I gotta get that. Yeah, I'm still looking out for that though. Like, and I'm with Damien on that because I told you this before. To me, it is very Real Ghostbusters-esque, and that's probably where I would put it, because I'm like, once I get those Mondo Real Ghostbusters figures and, you know, get that, I think that'll look really cool.
Yeah, no, for Real Ghostbusters, for sure.
Rat King is
in the Thing shelf for me just because of the open stomach, because that they never made a Norris figure that had the open stomach. They made the Norris creature, but not like the opening thing. So yeah, just the fact that something like this exists could not pass that up. But yeah, Real Ghostbusters would definitely work.
Yeah, so lots of good stuff. But yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll wrap it up there. But I think that was a good list, you know. So I think the monsters was better than the creepy figures. I don't know that the creepy figure idea was fully developed. There's something there, but I think there's a lot more to do with monsters in Legends. So
100%. I would like to see them Legends, Marvel Legends, do a re-release of that classic 4-pack. I know we got Dracula finally, but because it's like what, Wolfman,
Werewolf by Night. Oh no, yeah, Wolfman in that one, but yeah, we do need a new Werewolf by Night though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Especially because we got like the new man thing too, right? From it, like yeah, bring it on, man. Hey, isn't that a strange tale? A werewolf.
There you go. See, possibilities are endless. So next week, we won't have a live stream next week. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'll be at New York Comic Con next week, so we'll see. Maybe do something on the ground there, but see how that goes. And then we'll have to hash out a nice idea for the week, you know, the one before Halloween, something really good. Maybe we branch out from Legends. We'll just talk about like horror figures. I think that's a good idea, right?
I like that.
We'll get Kyle to jump on that one too, and
yes,
we'll have a nice horror movie and figure discussion,
Sounds
right
good
before
to me.
Halloween. So stay tuned for that, folks. And of course, if you stumbled upon this, welcome. Appreciate you dropping in, staying if you have. If you're interested in reviews, plenty of reviews on the channel. If you're interested in this stuff, there are some previous lives, some podcast stuff on the channel as well. Occasionally, we'll add our friend Kyle into the mix and we'll do a podcast and just talk about random stuff, mostly movie, music, and action figure related. So, a little something for everybody. But, we definitely appreciate you dropping by. So with that, I think it's time to turn it over to our good friends, Bill and Ted.
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!